Hey guys, and welcome to another Decklist video. Today we have Digi Armor Energize. Yes, I should have kept that. We are doing an armor deck today, and let's get started. We are running 4 of the Demi Veemon BT3 Digi-Eggs, just because when you attack and you have jamming, you can go ahead and draw 1, which leads perfectly into the jamming Veemon, probably the best one to have in this deck. Just because you swing, you draw for free, and you survive. So it's also very good. I will talk about some combos later on as we go through this deck list. Next, we are running 4 of the Veemon BT8 that just came out. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 2-color blue card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. Now, this doesn't specify a 2 blue colored Digimon, it just says cards, so you can get the dual tamer Davis and Ken, so keep that in mind. You can get that, so it's a very kind of broken card. And next we are running the starter deck 8 Veemon. You're not going to use the first, I want to say ability, the first effect. You're not going to use the first effect to go into Old Force, although you can if you want to. It won't really come up, so I wouldn't run it. We are running this Veemon because of his inherit here. If you have 7 cards, if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, when you attack, you can draw 1 card, which does come up a lot and helps you kind of go through your deck really quick. The next Veemon we're running is the EX1. Your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, you do gain 1 memory, which does happen if you Digivolve into Magnamon, or if you Digivolve into an armor, and then you tap Ken and Davis, you unsuspend. This will trigger. Next, we are running 2 of the starter deck 9 Veemon. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with free, and then place the rest in the bottom. The reason I'm only running 2 is because, like I said, this one you can get Ken and Davis, and this one you can only get a Digimon that has free in its type. So this card I would put 4 of in the Impyodramon deck, as opposed to having 4 of the other Veemon. So that is why I'm running 2. However, you could run it however you see fit to your playstyle. And now here we are getting into the armor Digimon, and the best one probably to run, because this deck plays very fast, and Flamedramon just really kind of helps you chip damage really quick. So the whole thing with this armor, if you don't know, is you have armor purge. So when this Digimon, the Digimon that has armor purge will get deleted, you can just trash it and then revert back to your rookie, in this case Veemon, and it stays on the field. So that's what kind of makes this deck pretty broken. Fun to play. Anyway, Veemon. Anyway, Flamedramon, when attacking, this Digimon gets 3000 for the turn. So when you attack, he automatically goes to 8k. So this is, besides Magnamon with his effect, this is the strongest Digimon in this deck. And yeah, so you do want to run 4 of these. Next, we got Magnamon. You Digivolve 3 from Veemon. 4, I forgot to mention, with Flamedramon and Raydramon here, not Lightdramon, with Raydramon here, when you Digivolve from Veemon, you know, they decrease their evil cost by 1, which is why I'm only running Veemon to kind of keep that consistency. So Magnamon, he is a blocker. He has armor purge too as well, and when Digivolving, you unsuspend this Digimon and get 2000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn for each card in your trash that has armor form. So if you have 2 Flamedramons, he gets 4000 DP. So you know, the whole idea here is swinging, they get deleted, whatever, you go into your Magnamon, now your Magnamon's going to be busted at like 20,000 DP. It has happened, so you could kind of swing over anyone at that point, not to mention he's a blocker, so pretty nasty. And just the fact that he unsuspends as well when you Digivolve, so if you have this Veemon and for whatever reason you swing, he survives, now you go ahead and Digivolve into that Magnamon, you unsuspend, you trigger Veemon's inherit. Now instead of costing 3, it's going to cost you 2 because you get that 1 memory back. So here we go. We're going to move into Lightramon, aka Raydramon. I don't know why they changed it, but whatever. Digivolve 2 from Veemon. You have armor purge, and then when Digivolving, you may suspend one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. This doesn't come up as much if you have if you're having a mirror match. You can use this, suspend that Magnamon, and then you can swing into security, or you could swing over, you know, whatever you need to swing and suspend it. It's a good card. Again, I just have it for armor as well. And then moving on here, I am running 3 of the Hulsmon, Digivolve 2 from Hawkmon. So this is the only one that will stay at Digivolving for 3. And the reason I have this is, besides having armor purge, when attacking, you delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, which does come up really often. So you can keep swinging, and if you keep surviving, you're going to keep deleting a level 3 that's on the field. So if there's a Gazimon on the field, or you know, any level 3, go into Hulsmon, you swing, you get to delete it, and you get to attack security still as well. And then if it gets deleted, then you just go back to a Veemon. So it's pretty broken. And now moving on, I am running 2 hybrids, just because sometimes you just need to hybrid for game. And I'm running the 2 Kumamon in case it doesn't really matter which hybrid you want to put in here too. You could do a Lobomon. I just want to put Kumamon because it doesn't really matter the DP for me, because I'm going to use Kumamon to swing for game and or use him to DNA into Chimeramon. But just because he has the added effect of when Digivolving, you trash 1 Digivolution card from the bottom of your opponent's Digimon. And in this case, let's say you're going against armor or whatever. Let's say some Mastamon has retaliation, you can trash that, you know, whatever. So it's a pretty nice, neat effect. So I am running 2 of the Kumamons. Keep in mind, he can Digivolve over Davis and Ken because they are dual color tamers. So you could run an Arbomon or any green hybrid here and Digivolve it on top of Ken. However, I am sticking with the blue hybrid because I have Davis and other Davis. So kind of keep consistency of blue here. Moving on, I am running 2 Chimeramon here. You can DNA Digivolve from 2 level 4s. It doesn't matter the color, so it could be 2 Kumamons, it could be you know, whatever. It doesn't matter the color, as long as it's 2 level 4s, you can DNA into Chimeramon, which makes Chimeramon so busted. When Digivolving, you may place 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Then up to 4 of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1000 DP for each of this Digimon's color until the end of your opponent's next turn. Your turn, this Digimon is treated as also having the colors of its Digivolution cards, while this Digimon has 4 or more colors, and it gets 4000 DP. So on your turn, for example, if you go into Chimeramon, it's going to be free. You can use Fire Rocket on him, because if you do have a Flame Dramon or Hulsmon underneath it, you use it to DNA, then you can just have security attack +2 with Chimeramon, since he has more than 2 colors at that point. Moving on to my tamers, honestly, running 4 of Davis and Ken is probably optimal, but I am running 3. And at the start of your main phase, if you have a blue Digimon, and if you have a green Digimon, or a green Digimon, you gain a memory for each. So if you have a blue, you gain 1 memory. If you have a green, you gain another one. You can gain up to 2 at the start of your main phase. Your turn, when one of your Digimon Digivolves into a Digimon with 2 or more colors, you may suspend this tamer to unsuspend that Digimon. So correct me if I'm wrong here. Actually, it wouldn't matter because Chimeramon Digivolves unsuspended, so it doesn't matter. So there's a lot of combos that you can do with this Davis and Ken. Here's one. Let's say you have a Davis and Ken already on the field. You can go ahead and swing with this jamming Veemon. You draw for it, and then you Digivolve into any of the armors besides Magnamon because he unsuspends himself. But let's say you Digivolve to a Flame Dramon. Now you can tap Ken and Davis, unsuspend that Flame Dramon, and you can play a Fire Rocket, and now he has security attack +2. If he dies, then you know you have that jamming Veemon underneath, and you still have that security attack +1 effect on play, and then Veemon will check the other one, so that's 3 checks in one turn. So that's something that you could do with this Davis and Ken. Really nice. Davis, just a memory set tamer for 3, because it's always important to start at 3. You know, you can get limited if you get memory choked all the time. On play, reveal 3 cards of your deck, add 1 blue and 1 green Digimon card among them to your hand. So if you pop Davis, you can get a Magnamon and a Lightroom Flamedramon, Lightramon, Halsmon, Lightramon, doesn't matter. Because Lightramon is green, you can actually potentially get 2 Digimon if you include Lightramon here. Moving on to Fire Rocket, you do need 4 of these. I don't care what other card you run, but you need 4 Fire Rockets. While you have a Digimon with armor in its trait, you can use this card without meeting its color requirement. So if you have a Lightramon, you can play Fire Rocket. If you have Magnamon, you can play Fire Rocket. As long as it has armor, you know, your color restriction doesn't matter at this point. And then main, one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors gains security attack +1 for the turn. So this card is very broken. And not to mention the security, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with blocker. It doesn't come up as often, but when it comes up, it's pretty clutch. Because, yeah, it's pretty clutch. So again, kind of like my combo here, like how I said earlier, you can use a Fire Rocket on Flamedramon, you swing for 8,000 DP, he survives, or if he doesn't, you still check the second check with any Veemon that's underneath, because it gives that Digimon that effect for the whole turn, just so you know. So mind you, you can stack these so you can play 2 Fire Rockets, then you have security attack +2 and so forth. So really awesome card for Fire Rocket. Next, we are running 2 armor textures. It is a 0 cost. When you have a Digimon with armor form and its trait, you can use this card without meeting its color requirement, which is pretty awesome because I am running nothing but armor besides Chimeramon and the hybrid. Trash the top card of one of your Digimon with armor. Then you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with armor and its trait for the Digivolution cost, or its Digivolution cost. If you do, unsuspend this Digimon. So, for example, let's say I'm at 2 memory, I had a Flamedramon, he didn't die. Now you go ahead and you swing with Flamedramon again, he survives. You can use armor texture, get rid of your Flamedramon, go into a Magnamon, or go into a Lightramon, or go into a Halsmon, unsuspend it because that's what armor texture does, so long as you pay for the Digivolution, and then you get to attack again. So it's pretty nice. And not to mention, if your armor dies and it's suspended, you can Digivolve into another armor, tap Ken and Davis, and then they'll all suspend, therefore you having a chance to swing again. So this is a very fun deck. Last card that I'm using here, I know a lot of people are using Plasma Shot, I think that's what it's called. It's a 4 cost yellow. It's a very good card to play, do not get me wrong. It's minus 4,000 DP on one of your Digimon. Then for each armor that you have in your trash, all your Digimon get minus 1,000 DP for each one that you have, if I am right. It is a good card because we are running mostly armors. However, it's going to take a lot of armors in your trash in order for you to get rid of like a Mastemon, Wargreymon, any high megas that have 13,000 DP. It's going to be very difficult for you to get over them. The only way you'll get over it is if you swing with the Magnamon and you have enough armors in your trash. So aside from that, you won't really be able to swing over it. So I am putting to Kakaida's Breath. Return one of your opponent's Digimon to its owner's hand, and then you trash everything else. So this is good for Mastemon, this is good for Impyodramon because you're trashing everything underneath and returning it back to their hand, which is good because a lot of times they're spending all their sources into DNA Digivolving, that when you return it to their hand, everything gets trashed and they kind of got to start from scratch. So I am running 2 of the Kakaida's Breath. You can run green option cards, but just keep in mind you would need Ken on the field, or you would need Raydramon on the field, right? And I just have nothing but blue cards, so I am sticking with Kakaida's Breath, so I am using 2 of those. So there you have it. This is my armor deck list, and it is very fun to play. I will say, if you are learning the Digimon TCG, or if you want to teach your girlfriend or your partner or your friends or whatever, I think this is the best way to teach them, is having them play this deck. It doesn't take that much thinking to play this deck, which makes it fun. However, you could also put some critical thinking into this deck, into how you play. But it's very good because it teaches you about Digivolving, and kind of, it's kind of up there. It's hard to beat this deck, so it's fun overall, and it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't require a lot of thinking to play this deck. So in my opinion, I think this is a very good deck to start learning just the basics and how the game runs. But if you're looking to play something really fun and it does, you know, you want to digivolve all the way up to Mega and all that stuff, check out this Black Core Greymon deck. It is very, very fun. I absolutely love it. And I will catch you guys on the next video.